Hey, what is up, podcast people? Glad you are here listening today. Today, we're going to tell you the story of where Three Strands came from. Like, where was it birthed? What was the motivation behind it? So stay tuned. We're going to talk about the birth of Three Strands. That just sounds kind of weird. The word birth. We're going to talk about the birth of Three Strands. No, we're not talking about a physical birth. So if you guys don't know what Three Strands is, I'm not talking about a physical human. So Three Strands. If you guys are a part of our Monday night squad, our Monday night group, or Three Strands community, then you know about it. But Three Strands, what it is, it's a group of 18 to 25-year-olds meeting weekly on a Monday night, chasing after Jesus and growing in community. Three Strands comes from Ecclesiastes 4:12 that says, one person alone is easily defeated. Two people, they can help each other out, keep each other warm, but a three-stranded cord is not easily broken. So where Three Strands came from, it officially started January 11th of 2022. So a little bit over about a year and a half ago now was the first time we met on a Monday night, but it didn't really start then. So I'm going to rewind all the way back to 2018. Oh, by the way, my name is Josh. If you guys don't know me, if you don't know my voice, sorry. I should have introduced myself. My name is Josh. I'm the dude who runs Three Strands with a couple other people. I work here at Still Creek Church of Charlotte and help run kind of our young adult ministry stuff. So Three Strands, we're going to fast forward all the way back to 2018. So in 2000, man, I ain't burping today. I'm sorry, y'all. I think it was either the Jimmy John's or this coffee. One of them got me, LOL. But in 2018, I graduated high school in 2018. And I didn't go the typical, you graduate high school, then you go to college for 4 years route, and then you go get a job. Like, I didn't do that. So I graduated high school in 2018. And even to rewind before all that, I grew up in church. Like, I've been going to the same church for 23 years. So just picture that. I've been going to the same church for 23 years. So throughout my youth life, 6th grade to 12th grade, I was super plugged in with our youth ministry, with small groups, with camps, mission trips. I was plugged into all of it. It was my life. I didn't have a lot of school friends because I was kind of a loner in middle school. Didn't have a lot of school friends, so our church leaders kind of became my friends. So in 2018, I graduated high school, and because my whole life grew up in the church, all my church friends were inside the church. Most of them left. They all they graduate high school, then they go either get jobs or they go to college, they move out and move somewhere. They all left. So I was here in 2018, graduated high school, and I was like, man, where'd my friends go? Like, I don't have anybody to hang out with. I don't have any more small groups. Like, I don't, like, where'd my friends go? And I kind of felt that burden for like a year. Like from 2018 to 2019, it was not fun. It was a very not fun year. Of just like isolation, loneliness, comparison, viewing my life with other people's life. When I graduated high school in 2018, I didn't go right into college. I took like a gap year is what they call, and I started working here at the church. But for that whole year, I was like, man, where are my friends at? Where are my people at? Like, I'm 19 years old. I'm almost 20 years old. Like, I want to have fun. I want to be a 19-year-old. I want to be a 20-year-old. I want to go bowling on Friday nights. I want to go to coffee shops. I want to go play putt-putt. Like, I want to do fun stuff. I want to go to summer camps, retreats. Like, I want to do fun stuff. But where are my people at to do that with? Like, where's people my age to do that with? So for a whole year, I was, like, looking at a church, and I was like, man, where are they at? And I didn't see them. So in, like, 2019, I started to say, you know what? Instead of just getting mad that I don't see people my age, let's figure out a way to be the solution. So anybody listening out there that has a problem, like you see something and you don't agree with it, stop pointing out the problem, be the solution. Fun fact. So in 2019, going into 2020, I was like, all right, I'm going to try something. And I did this thing called something different. Oh, that's right, something different. So what my idea was, I was looking at our church, and then I looked at a couple other churches and like a 10-minute circle between us, and there's two other churches in a 10-minute circle. So I called them. Actually, I didn't even call. I just walked into their building, and I said, hey, do you guys have a youth pastor? Do you have a young adult pastor, a college pastor, like anybody for that college age? And they all pointed me to their youth pastor. So I called up their youth pastor. I was like, hey, we got like 3 or 4 people that are 18 to 25 in my church. Do you have any? Okay, cool. Let's get them together, and let's just start meeting. Let's start hanging out. So I tried that, and that didn't really take off. It turned into like a Bible study with like 4 dudes just kind of staring at each other for like a year and a half. And then, which is still good, Not that the dudes are staring at each other, good. But the fact that people are gathering weekly, doing a Bible study, that's still good. But it didn't really fulfill like the burden I had and still do have. Like the vision I had, the burden I had, and still do have. So I remember in 2020, COVID hit, so that kind of messed some things up. And then ran it from fall to something different. From fall of 2020, August, all the way up until right before the summer of 2021. So in 2021, I went to go work at a summer camp. I'm giving you guys the whole background, so you're getting all the juicy details about how Three Strands started. So in 2021, I went to go work at a summer camp. So I stopped something different, the little Bible study with people staring at each other. I was like, hey guys, I'm leaving for the summer. I can't run it anymore. It was nice knowing you. Hashtag deuces. So worked at this summer camp for 3 months, moved out of the house, moved into the camp location, worked there for 3 months, then came back in the fall. When I came back in the fall, I started taking classes at Liberty University, online classes, so not like college classes, like 4-year in-person college classes, but online classes. Then came back in the fall, here working at our church within our youth ministry at Steel Creek, but still having that burden all the way from 2018 that like, hey, like where are my people at? Like I'm now 21, maybe 21 years old, I think. 21 years old, I'm like, where's the other 21 years old at? Like when you're a single 18 to 25 year old, you're like, where are the other people at? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, where's like I left for a summer and I was coming back hoping for there to be a couple people to just hang out with, to start meeting weekly with, to just hang out and do life with. And there wasn't people there. So I still felt that like, man, got to do something, right? Everybody loves to point out the problem. Nobody wants to be the solution, but I'm like, all right, we're going to figure out a way to do something. So in August of 2021, started having those conversations about what would it look like to do something, but to do it a little bit better. Take what I learned from the Something Different Bible study group, but do it just a little bit better in a way, a little bit more strategic, led out with a little bit more vision, a lot more prayer, a lot more Jesus, and just overall strategic, led with a vision, more commitment. So I had those conversations from August of 2021 all the way up to December with pastors on our staff, with people who help make big decisions about getting a budget and like just getting stuff approved. And I remember for those, 4 or 5 months there, for like August to December, it wasn't the fan favorite. I remember it was like the 21-year-old coming in trying to blaze a path, doing what he wants for these young kids in a way. So it wasn't like a fan favorite. A couple people said it was going to fail. A couple people didn't think it was going to work. A couple people said my teaching was trash. So there was not a lot of hoorah, like it's going to work motivation there. Not a lot of optimism. It was more like you can try it, but dude, it's not going to work. So there wasn't a lot of optimism going in, but that just kind of fueled me even more to say, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong. But with God did it all. So then fast forward to January. Now we're in January of 2022. So we spent a lot of time. We spent 2018 and 2019 feeling this burden of loneliness and isolation and never wanting anybody to feel the same way. And then 2019 to like halfway to 2021, tried this Something Different Bible study group, and it never took off. It didn't really hit. So then we re-strategized, new vision, and then that's where January 11th, 2022 kicks off. And that's where we met for our first Monday night. We met at our friend Doug Taylor's house. Doug and Beth Taylor, they're some of our shepherding deacons in our group, and we met in their basement. And I remember 12 people showed up that Monday, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. Like more people showed up in this one time than any like over the past year and a half. I was like, we can do something with this. Like, all right, God, let's go. Like we can do something with this. So we met bi-weekly from January till about April. We met bi-weekly on Monday nights. 18 to 25 years old, we started meeting in Doug and Beth's basement, and then we eventually switched to the cafe at our church. And the reason why we met in a basement and the cafe at our church, because we have a church facility, we have rooms to gather in with TVs and lights, and they look like a room you would preach in or hold a church service in, is because we didn't want to be a normal church service, because we wanted to do stuff a little bit different, maybe something more inviting or opening and inviting, something more community related to when people show up, they can build community. So for that first 4 months, we met bi-weekly on Monday nights in a basement and the cafe at our church. And then it started to grow. It started to grow from 12 people then 15 people will show up, then 18 people will show up, and now 20 people will show up, then 25 people will show up, and then 30 people will show up on a Monday night. And then we decided to switch from every other Monday to meeting weekly because the summer was about to come, so we knew we would have more college students home for the summer, so we were like, let's just go for it and try it. So then we switched to meeting weekly, still in the cafe out at our church, and then from ever since then we met weekly. We've been meeting weekly. And for the first year, it was an absolute grind. It was an absolute hustle, an absolute grind of turning atmospheres into places, or turning places into atmospheres, so to speak. So like turning a cafe at our church into a place where people want to meet at, bringing down couches, chairs, games, sound systems, because we wanted to take the church feel out of it. Because if college students aren't showing up to church, we want to take the church structure feel out of it. So we met in a less structured place. And so we started meeting weekly throughout the summer, and then it grew. It grew to about 25 people showing up consistently a week. Different kind of 25 each week. There was a solid core group that would show up weekly, but then kind of a different fluctuating number there of different people showing up. But it was awesome. It was growing. We hired our first intern. Shout out Abby if you're listening. She helped and she killed it throughout the summer. It was awesome. Then the summer ended. We're still meeting weekly. That's right. Then the summer ended. Then we're still meeting weekly. Then comes August, September. This is of 2023. Still meeting downstairs in our cafe lobby area. And it's starting to grow very subtly. We're seeing new people come in. We're seeing people stay. Still encouraged. We're hitting around that 20 to 27 people Monday night. And it's awesome. We're having fun. People are hanging out on a Monday night with word, worship, prayer. They're meeting in people's houses on a weekend. They're going and hanging out to coffee shops. They're going to Topgolf. They're playing bowling together. They're doing life together. So it was really cool to see that. And then that got us all the way through the year. So from pretty much 2023, we spent the year meeting, started out bi-weekly, but then went to weekly on our Monday nights, meeting downstairs at our church in the cafe lobby area. And it was a vibe. It was really cool. And then we went to Passion. We took a group to Passion, which was really dope. And then that takes us all the way. Oh, we're in 2023 now. We're not in 2024. LOL. I meant 2022 then. This is 2023. I thought, wait, what year is this? Dude, I don't even know. I'm going to look at my calendar. I'm not even playing, y'all. Is this 2020? Okay, we're in 2023 now. So that means last year was 2022. LOL. So that took us all the way to December last year, and then we picked up again this year in January, meeting on Monday nights. But then we decided to make a switch. We went from meeting downstairs in our cafe lobby area vibe upstairs into our youth room. So it's a lot more structured. There's already chairs set up. There's TVs. There's a light system. There's a sound system. It's a space already set up. So we made that switch. We moved upstairs, and that was a good move. We were excited about that, and it slowly grew. It slowly grew to about 30 people coming weekly on a Monday night, and then we start seeing people show up from Monday night on Sunday mornings, serving on Sunday mornings, going to church on Sunday mornings. So we're really excited about that. That was really encouraging. And then ever since, what month are we in now? April? January, March, April. So for about the first 3.5 months, from January to mid-March, we met in our high school room upstairs, growing slowly on our Monday nights. And then just recently, about 2 weeks ago, we made the move to meet in our large tent. So our large tent area, it holds a lot more people, really big area. But we moved down there, which is a good reason because we were growing. So we moved down to our large tent area, still meeting weekly on Monday nights. And we're seeing about 42 to 45 people come a week, which is really cool. So throughout this whole story, kind of birth experience of Three Strands, there was nothing really cool about it. There wasn't yes, there was a lot of cool things about it, but what really brought it together is just God doing what he does. All right, there's not that I preached the lights out of a room. I can't even say words right half the time. It's not because our worship was awesome. We had some jank speakers. It's just God bringing people together, drawing people together for community. We're seeing disciples being made. We're seeing fruit. So we're super glad about this journey we have been on so far with Three Strands, starting all the way from 2018, pretty much, but then really took off January 11th of 2021. Super excited about the journey we've been on. If anybody out there has been to our Monday nights, really glad you have been a part of our Monday nights. It means the world to us that you would show up and hang out with us super glad with where we're heading. We don't have any plans of stopping or slowing down. If you're listening right now and you're in the Charlotte area community, I know what it feels like to be 18. I'm 23 now, so I know what it feels like to be in that 18 to 25 gap and feel alone, and it's not fun. So if you're 18 to 25, even if you're not alone, we would love for you to come hang out with us on Monday nights, join a community, word, worship, prayer, kind of a church service, but not really, because we have some fun stuff and we build community, and it's a beautiful thing. So we'd love to see you guys there. Appreciate you listening. Maybe you now know the history a little bit of why Three Strands was birthed. Birthed is still a weird word, but appreciate you guys. Feel free to check out some other episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check out some other stuff. And if you're in the area, we'd love to see you on Monday nights. Deuces.